Welcome classic rock fans to another episode of Classic Rock Conundrums, and today's episode is actually inspired by an article I read on the Planet Rock website. Basically, the Kiss look to wordmark, trademark or seek some sort of commercial recompense from the use of the term end of the road. Obviously this has led to an awful lot of speculation, idle or not, I don't know, as to whether they're finally going to hang up their boots and call it a day. And any other appropriate end of the road, any other appropriate metaphors I can think of. So then it got me thinking, well, if they did announce, first of all, should they call it a day? And two, if they do an end of the road tour, what would we like to see from that tour? Anyway, as far as the end of the road goes, I think they definitely should call it a day. I don't want to upset all the hardcore Kiss fans out there. I mean, I love Kiss myself, but I sort of feel certain bands can carry on, and you know, as long as and a band like the Stones, for example, I think Jagger still sounds like Jagger. He performs brilliantly, and the band sound as tight as ever. And some would say actually they sound a lot tighter than they did in the 1970s. But despite their age, I still think they are delivering, and they should do it. With Kiss, though, I do feel. I mean, makeup does cover a multitude of sins, but I personally feel that their age is really beginning to show, and they're a band that I think are very much about their overall image and presentation rather than just the music. Their image and presentation is equally as important. So that's one reason I think maybe they should think about calling it a day. But the main reason for me is that I think Stanley's voice is creaking. I think he now sounds aged, and I think he has immense difficulty singing some of those songs. So maybe that's another reason they could perhaps call it a day and sort of focus on other things, I suppose. However, if they were to finish, I would like to see an end of the road tour. I'd like to see a tour that came to Europe and the UK, not just a one-off festival date. And what would you like to see from a tour? Well, first of all, for me, to get me shelling out for a concert ticket, it would have to be Ace would have to be involved. I would love to see that. I'd love to see a lot of the past members involved, including Peter Criss. Not necessarily as musicians playing on stage, but even Peter Criss doing a little video short as an introduction to a song would feel nice and have a kind of a feeling of inclusivity, if you like, which I think it'd be a nice way to finish on. I suppose the next thing is to think about set list. For me, I've said before in my previous videos that I would, if Paul Stanley's struggling to sing something like Love Gun, then just omit it. Stanley's gone on record as saying that when they play a show, they don't play a show for the guy that's been to 10 shows in a row, but the person that's coming to that one show. But I think that needs to change for the end of the road tour. I think it should be one that's really delivered up for the fans, and they should just get some sort of idea, maybe by a poll, songs that the fans would really like to hear, and songs perhaps that could be left out, like Love Gun, for example, if it's proving too problematic, as is I Was Made for Loving You, which Stanley seems to struggle with for some reason. So there's a lot of those songs they could just omit, and a few more they could include. I've already said if Frehley's on board, you know, he could sing a few, Simmons could sing a few of the songs from the back catalogue, take the pressure off Stanley's voice, and mix up the set, bringing songs like American Man. I'd love to hear that. They did that a few years ago, I believe. Larger Than Life is a song I'd love to hear them do that live, although Ace Frehley didn't play on the record. But I think it's an opportunity. It's not really is an opportunity to change the set list and deliver a show that the fans want to see. So in a nutshell, I think Kiss should call it a day. Obviously it's up to them. I think Ace should be involved as a touring musician. I'd like to see Peter Criss involved, even by video link or a short video film introducing a song. And I'd like to see a radically altered set list to include some real gems and deep cuts from the LPs that they perhaps ordinarily don't play live. I haven't played for a long time. So there you have it. Anyway, what do you think? Should Kiss call it a day? Is this going to mark the end of the road for this band? And if it is, what would you like to see from a final tour? Please leave your comments below, check out the Facebook page, but more importantly, please do keep listening.